Alrighty, it's Tuesday, March 6th, and it's just about 1:30. Greetings and salutations, I am the Professor, Dr. Daniel Karras. Well, after a bit of a delay we had today, just around 11 o'clock, my internet went down, and so I wasn't able to do the Comments X at that time, so we're doing it now. Yesterday was, I did the first full day of news, got back on the horse again. We'll start with this, we'll start with the news work first. So I spent my first full day yesterday doing news, sort of getting my sources together and preparing. I was supposed to put something out last night, but I hadn't finished all the sourcing work that I needed to get done in order to start putting things out. I will finish doing that today. I'll fix up my notes and then prep the studio. I haven't decided which studio I'm going to use yet. Am I going to use the front room with the desk and blackboard, or am I going to use the HD one? Haven't decided what do I do yet, but I'm aiming for tonight, probably around 11 o'clock, to get the first edition of the news out. And this is going to be aimed to be a daily thing. It's going to be sort of the daily one is going to be behind the headlines, and then I'm aiming for once a week to produce a documentary. And I've got one documentary series already in the works. It's known as Internet Fascists and Fascism. That will be starting next week. It will come out sometime over the weekend between Saturday and Monday. And it will look at how global events play out on the internet, including looking at some of the behaviors that are common, that can commonly be seen on the internet, actually affect and sort of can be seen in the larger global context. So this will happen during the week. I'm working on this. I was going back to the news channels today. What I will do, for those of you who do want to follow me around, I will be posting on my comments of the front of on the first page of the channel. And you can see the sort of my activity bar when I move from channel to channel. So I have a variety of channels now. I'm not always going to be on the main channel. When I go to do the news, I'm going to be on the news channel. When I'm working on a new series, which will be in the BAS channel, in addition to the Omega Construct, I'm working on a new project, a new documentary series. This is courtesy of Helicopter of the RightAndProperLadies, who started on the week themes for RightAndProperLadies is Harry Potter. And I am going to promise a Saturday contribution, a gift, that will be a bit of a preview of the coming documentary. And it's going to be on Harry Potter. I'm going to reveal something that few people may know or realize. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, like Harry Potter, read the series, Saturday, RightAndProperLadies, my gift will be on Harry Potter, and it will be a preview of the documentary that's to come on the BASInstitute channel. Beyond that, I spent, I said, doing the news research took a fair bit of time. It took me, I think I must have spent at least 8 hours or longer doing the research, pulling together my sources. And before that, so what I do is usually I start my day off before I get into the heavy work, and I do my my YouTube channel surfing, and then every so often I go back to it as I take breaks in between my work. So I had first gone by yesterday. I gone by NerdzRL channel and noticed that they were still out. Then went back. Then I went on and sort of looked at these. I found these 3 other channels on books. Excuse me here for a minute. But I get my notes, and I have a hard time sometimes remembering things, so I write them down. The 3 book channels that I went by that I really liked were Readable. Well, yeah, and there's 2 of them here. Readables and Book Rant were the 2 book channels I went by, and found these channels to be really, really nice. And I'm actually going to produce a comments why to one of the one of them, the Readable book channel has a tag in there about the different types of books you read and why you choose to read what you read. So I'm going to answer that tag there. That was basically on February 19th. So this is a little bit late. So I'm sort of, I still find things interesting that are further back, and because I wasn't around since December. That means I wasn't around at February. I was there, but I just didn't notice it. So I'm going to answer to the February 19th tag with my own little thing. Then I went back to NerdzRL and found that she now has internet. I guess it took her a while to get her internet back up and working, and she is now doing a vlog of her moving. So basically, yesterday she got up, and I saw February 25th and 26th. This is Cassandra from NerdzRL. I saw her move on February 25th and 26th, and Andrew has gone back home, and she was sort of thinking about whether or not she should do product placements if she's given the opportunity to do so within her vlog. And I don't really see, I don't see a problem if someone, sometimes not who wants, but if you're going to be doing this and you're going to put a commitment to it, and people are enjoying what you're putting out, at some point in time you've got to, you got to pay your bills. this is part of the reality is that everyone has bills to pay. So I don't see a problem of her putting product placement in there. Just the way I didn't see anyone, if someone wants to do this, this is not my choice. I don't have any desire to be a YouTube partner or any other partner that I've seen out there. These things are all basically a violation of my principles. But if she can strike a deal doing product placements, then there's no issue there. That's more power to her. That means she can do more of what she wants to do. I mean, I know it's not a steady job or anything like that. When you're doing product placements, you're doing contracts and doing freelance work, you always have to be going out and finding more funds. I mean, that's the way my research is privately funded, and this is what I have to do on a regular basis. I have to go out and find funds, and if I can't find the funds that I need to get, then I have to readjust my budget and deal with it that way. And that's sort of how my Freegan lifestyle began, is that I wanted to do the science that all the big boys were doing, all the big institutes were doing, but I didn't want to compromise the way a lot of the larger institutions have. When you're doing science as a researcher in some of these bigger institutes, there's a lot of compromise in your scientific principles in order to get and then keep your funding. sometimes, and this has been happening a lot in the this is I'm going to give you an example, but it's not exclusive to the medical research field. Most fields have this to some degree. If people are wondering why you hear about promising research and there's a whole bunch of news excitement, and then all of a sudden things disappear and people are now coming up with this conspiracy theory, oh, it's the big corporations that are keeping away drugs from us and blah 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 blah. They could have cured cancer a long time ago. That's not true. What is true, and this is what I've seen, is that more often than not, in order to keep the funding, the researchers have to write the reports in a very positive manner. In many cases, it's outright scientific fraud. This happened in stem cell. A large chunk of this happened during the George Bush election. The left was screaming about stem cell research and how it was necessary, and how much groundbreaking work was being done, and they were pointing to South Korea as the leader in stem cell research. Well, it was funding period, and the researchers in South Korea needed to put up a number of papers and make a large enough fanfare in order to keep their funding. And when they went back to it and they started looking at the data and people started picking up the research, they began to realize that a lot of the research that was done in South Korea on stem cell research was fraudulent, that it didn't exist. This same fraud in adjusting of scientific reports in order to sustain funding is done in global warming and climate change. This was the big scandal that hit not only the International Committee for Climate Change. That panel there, a lot of their data had to be thrown out because it was adjusted, what they call it was an inadvertent error that had been sort of floating around and generated them billions of dollars. It affected the UK's Met Office. This is their meteorological office. So this type of funding scandal is been around. Is it not only in the medicine, where you see reports and studies. Every time you see a study and report come up, you need to realize that there's more likely than not when they say, if you ever see in these reports that more research needs to be done and more funding needed, you need to realize that anytime you see that this is put out by a research group, this is not a scientific report. This is an advertisement. This is promotion for their research. So as I said, if NerdzRL, Cassandra, or anyone wants to make money off their stuff, that's not a problem. The issue is whether or not, and I think Cassandra will do this, is she'll stay honest with it, I don't think that she'll do anything or that will sort of jeopardize the show, because as soon as she does that, people will stop watching. I mean, if you're watching the vlogs, you're watching vlogs because you're interested in watching the person, you're interested in seeing the person. Product placements or not, you're interested in the person. So as soon as the person starts to change and it becomes something you don't like, then and this is true in my case because I've got a remote control for it. You sort of click away from her channel. You turn the channel, and that's how you vote. That's how you get your opinions heard, is by changing the channel. And so I don't think that she'll do anything to jeopardize her fan base. I don't think that I think she has a lot more respect for us than maybe some people may give her credit for. So if she wants to do that, I don't really have a problem. If any other channel wants to monetize, that's not a problem for me either. It's all a matter of personal choice. So as I said, what I'll be working on today is I'm going to be finishing up the work on the news and getting the news, the first news broadcast out tonight. I'll probably do the finish up work for the this week's episodes of Ubuntu BSD Unix Ital. I finished three episode layouts for cyborgs and cybernetics, so I've got 3 episodes already written up and sort of organized. And then the rest of the day, and the other fields that I've got to get done, is I've got to do cleaning work. I've got to start catching up on my cleaning and sort of processing some of the Freegan material that I've got, backed up in my warehouse, because the summer's coming, and just about a month from now, as home renovation starts, there's going to be a lot of goodies back in the dumpster. So, and I need to clear my place out so I can bring in the new set of goodies. Anyways, if those of you out there who are Freegans, you want to give me a shout out or contact me, let me know. I think maybe we can make arrangements to trade things as I find good stuff in the trash. I could certainly maybe do, if this may be of interest to people, I can do on the BigBangTheoryRL, I could do a showcase of Freegan materials that I'm willing to part with, and we could do trades and swaps. Alright, have a great day.